Hello PHOTOPILLERS, Rafael the bar here. I get this question a lot. Rafa, if I want to plan a sunset or a sunrise in a valley on a certain date, how do I know when the sun will hide behind the mountain? So I'll be in the shade, so my foreground will be in the shade too. Well, to answer this question with PhotoPills, with the planner, you need to use the black pin to take into account the topography, the terrain. Let me show you how to do it with an example. Imagine that you're planning a trip to New Zealand, like I did a few years ago. Actually, after this photo here, I almost broke my ankle, but that's another story. So imagine that next year in April, you want to be in Queenstown by Lake Wakatipu, photographing the sunset. It's a beautiful, beautiful location. Let's assume that you want to photograph it on April 10th, 2021. Let's figure out with PhotoPills when the sun will hide behind the mountains. And of course, this workflow works for sunsets and sunrises. Ready? Let's go! Go to PhotoPills, tap on Planner, and here, as always, the first thing I need to do is to place the red pin in my shooting spot. So tap on Load and type Queenstown, New Zealand. Here it is. Tap on the result, and the red pin will be placed right in Queenstown. Cool. Here in New Zealand. Awesome. Now just drag and drop it and place it on the beach, in this beautiful beach here that we have by Lake Wakatipu and all these cool mountains that we have here on the north side of the lake. Pretty cool. Next step is to set the date. So tap on the center of the time bar once to access the calendar, and let's set the date, and we said that we want to be there in April 2021, but that's on the 10th of April. Cool. Tap on Done to get back to the map view. On Android, tap on the back arrow. Awesome, the date is set. And now on the map, this thick orange line you see is telling me the direction of the sunset on April the 10th, 2021. And on the top panel here above the map, I have the sunset time, which is 6:19 p.m. So the sun will be setting at 6:19 p.m. in the direction of this thick orange line you see on the map, and that's at the horizon, when the sun is setting at the horizon. Obviously here, these huge mountains that I have here, they will block the horizon, so they will block the sunset. So I need to figure out when the sun will be hiding behind these mountains here. If you wish to have a better understanding of all these lines you see on the map and learn how to plan really powerful sunset photos, watch this video. It's an amazing one where I teach you how to plan these amazing sunset photos. Don't miss it, watch it. And by the way, subscribe. Now if I change the time with the time bar by swiping the time bar, you see this thin orange line that moves across the sky. This line is telling me where the sun is for the selected date and the selected time. This way I know where the sun is at all time. For example, here the sun is rising in the direction of this thick yellow line here, and it's setting in the direction of the thick orange line. Remember that Queenstown is in New Zealand, in the southern hemisphere, so the sun is moving in the north. In the northern hemisphere, the sun is moving in the south, right? But here we are in the southern hemisphere, so the sun moves northwise. Cool. Now, to figure out where and when the sun will hide behind these mountains here, I need to use the black pin. So, swipe the top panel to the right to get to panel number 2, this one, and tap on the button you see on the panel to make the black pin appear on the map here, and move it, place it at the top of the mountain. For example, here, right where the sun is, aligned with the azimuth line of the sun. So I'll move it a bit more, for example, or here. How do I know that this is the top of the mountain? I don't know. I just need to keep moving the black pin and check the altitude that appears in the information box of the black pin. In this case, at this spot is 1,323 meters. So I'll move it up. So this is 1,469 meters, this is a higher point, move it up, and then goes down a bit at 1,399 meters. Actually clearly see on the map that this is the top of the mountain. You see this line, that's the tip of the mountain, this line here that I clearly see on the map. Notice that when I placed the black pin on the azimuth line, the line has turned into a dashed line, a dotted line. This means that the center of the sun is behind the mountain, so the mountain is blocking the sun. Also, the top panels tell me that the sun height is minus 331.7 meters from the black pin ground level. This means that the center of the sun is 331.7 meters below the top of the mountain, right where I placed the black pin. So what I have to do now is to move time backwards to get the sun higher, like this, and see how, oops, in the opposite way, to move time backwards and get the sun higher until it gets again like a straight line, not a dashed line. And I'll repeat the process. Just place the black pin on top of the mountain, aligned with the orange azimuth line of the sun. To move time more precisely, just do a long press on the time bar to get 15 minutes length, so you can move the time with more precision. Cool, now I see that the azimuth line of the sun is not dashed, it's a straight line. I'll move a bit the black pin to make sure that I'm at the top of the mountain. Here, you can always check on the top panel how the sun height relative to the ground level of the black pin changes. But I think I'm quite up the top of the mountain. Actually, at this spot, the sun height is 60.8 meters above the black pin and ground level, of course. And the size of the sun is 40 meters, so it is the diameter of the sun. So it's above the mountain, but it's pretty close to the top. So if I move time a bit forward, you see how clearly the sun is getting down until it starts to hide behind the mountain. At this point, the center of the sun height below the ground level of the black pin is minus 0.1 meters, so it's about to hide behind the mountain. This is in the direction of this dotted orange line you see on the map, so I'll put it a bit backwards, move time backwards to have it above the horizon. So change again the black pin position to make sure that I'm at the top of the mountain. Oop. You see here I move the black pin and it turns dashed again because this is a higher point. So again, move time backwards to have it higher. Okay, I think I'm getting there. Yes, I think I have it now. I just move the black pin a bit to make sure that the line is not dashed. So I make sure that the center of the sun is always higher than the ground level of the black pin. That's why I'm moving the black pin on the line, to make sure that the center of the sun is above the black pin ground level, above the mountain. So I think I have it here. I'll move time backwards again, forward again to get the sun a bit down, like this. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, kind of sure, that in this direction, in the direction of the orange thin line, the sun will start to hide behind the mountain. Check the top panel. The sun height at this point is 36.6 meters above the ground level, and the diameter of the sun is 40 meters, so it's more or less about to start to hide behind this mountain in this direction. So this way I know where the sun will start to hide behind the mountain. At what time? This is happening at 4:37 p.m. So make sure that you arrive at the location before that time, before 4:37 p.m. because it's when the sun will start to hide behind the mountain. So to sum up, what you have to do is to place the black pin on the azimuth line of the sun on the top of the mountain to make sure that the azimuth line of the sun is not dashed. This way you can find where the sun will start to hide behind the mountain and also the time the sun will start to hide behind the mountain. Easy! You can also use the AR button to figure out when the sun will hide behind the mountain. For example, if the day before you go where the red pin is and tap on the AR button, what you'll see here is, this is the horizon, you have the date and the time here of the shooting, and the sun is setting. So yeah, if I have the mountain here, I'll clearly see when the sun is setting behind the mountain. And you can change the time by swiping your finger on the screen to see how the sun goes down. So if I have the mountain here, I can clearly see when the sun is hiding behind the mountain, and then check the time here at the top. Using the AR views is super simple and super powerful. Use them. And that's it. This is how you can use PhotoPills to plan your sunsets and sunrises when you're in a valley. As always, if you have a question, leave a comment below because I'm ready to help. And if you wish to learn more about sunset photography, I'm leaving a link in the description of this video to our super sunset photography guide. Check it out. And if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, and click on the bell to get notified when I release the next video. And remember that you have the power to imagine, plan, and shoot legendary photos. Bye.